are? I need some participation. Seriously.
Yeah, rough idea.
Yeah. Okay. The refugios are like hostel ski lodge type things that are built around the park, front side, back side of the circuit. You can find them pretty much everywhere. They offer a number of services. The first thing that they have indoor sleeping in dormitory style bunk beds, just like in a hostel. Okay? This is a little bit pricey. I believe it's 20,000 pesos per night to stay inside in a bunk in your sleeping bag. Okay? If you want to stay inside, you need to bring your passport with you. You also need to make a reservation before you leave Puerto Natales because it's high season. They tend to fill up. The place we send people to make reservations is if you walk out this door and take a left, you'll see a restaurant right over there called El Toki. Okay? Directly to the other side from here of El Toki is Austral Glacier. It's a tourism agency. Carla there can handle refugio bookings. She doesn't charge commission. She can also help you out with, there's no bus terminal here, if anybody hasn't noticed. So it's a little bit trickier to figure out how to get other places. She can help you get to Calafate, Ushuaia, wherever it is you want to head after this. She can also help you out with stuff down in other parts of the park where they don't have backpackers in them. I pretty much only know the hiking routes personally. Okay. Let's see. If you're not staying in the refugio, they also offer camping at these sites. This is always paid camping. The prices vary, but for budgeting purposes, count on spending 5,000 pesos per night per person to pitch a tent in one of the refugio campsites. Okay, you do not need to make reservations for this, although it is an option. You can reserve the campsites, pay ahead of time if you want that to be all taken care of beforehand. Let's see. If you're in the tents, if you're in the refugio services are open to you. This means the hot showers, flush toilets are yours to use. They also serve 3 meals per day in the refugios. I believe it's 10,000 pesos for a dinner usually, about 7,500 for a lunch, and between 4,000 and 7,000 for breakfast, depending on the place and what they're making. All right. If you are not eating one of these meals in the refugio, you need to count on having all of your own stuff. They don't have stoves that they can lend you. They don't have pots and pans that you can use. You have to either get the fully catered meals from them or be self-sufficient. You'll be cooking outside if you're not eating your meals there. You do not need to make reservations to eat meals at the sites. If the meal you want is dinner, you should make sure to show up by 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock p.m. Let the staff know that you have 2 or 3 more people for dinner. Okay, they'll make a little bit of extra food. Everybody gets served at the same time then. All right. Let's see. Apart from that, the refugios have basic rental services available. This means they rent tents, sleeping bags, sleeping pads. That's about it. There are a few catches to this that should be kept in mind. First of all, rentals there go for 200 to 300% of the rental prices here in town. Additionally, if you rent a tent, you need to pay the tent rental fee, and then the setup fee in the campsite there in addition. Furthermore, if you rent your stuff from the refugios, you cannot then take it on to the next free campsite and pitch it there. It has to remain on the refugio site. So if you go into the park without your own tent, sleeping bag, etc., you are restricted to staying in the refugio sites on each night. So it's something to be aware of. Let's see. Beyond that, any questions on the refugios? Yeah.
You said that you have to leave the tent in the same refugio. You can't leave the next refugio with the tent.
Right.
It's just you just basically only went to one night.
Yes.
What time generally is dinner and lunch and stuff?
Breakfast and lunch, I don't know. Those vary, but you can find that out. You're going to be there anyway for that time. But if it's breakfast, you'll have stayed the night before. So dinner, I think, there are a couple of different companies that own refugios in the park, somewhere between 8 and 10 probably. All right?
Yeah. How many refugios are there, say, along the W?
We can count them. There's one here, 2, 3, 4, 5 full refugios on the W, or 6 full refugios on the W. Okay. You'll see on the maps they're all marked. The refugios and the free campsites are in different colors. Okay. All right. The free campsites. If you want to stay in the free campsites, they have very basic facilities. You need to be totally self-sufficient. All right. This means your own tent, your own sleeping equipment, your own cooking equipment, your own food, everything. The only things that the free campsites have to offer are basic 3-walled cooking shelter, like kind of lean-to things you can go into to cook, eat, be out of the rain and the weather, read your book, talk to people. They also have basic bathroom facilities. Sometimes these are flush toilets. Usually it's like a pit toilet or a vaulted toilet, okay, that you have to use there. They do not come with toilet paper, so you need to pack your own toilet paper in. The campsite toilets are also subject to weather issues. They're subject to engineering problems. You may find that the toilet in one of the campsites is closed when you arrive. If this is the case, you deal with it the same way as if you were out on the hiking trails and were hit by the urge. Okay, that is, head up, 5-minute walk outside of the campsite, find yourself a place that's at least 100 meters away from the nearest fresh water source. Okay, something out of the view of your fellow campers, maybe something with a view of its own. Okay, dig yourself a nice 20-centimeter deep hole. Fill the hole when you're done. If you take toilet paper up there, I know it sounds gross, but you have to carry that toilet paper back out with you. Okay, that needs to be thrown out at one of the refugio sites. If you want some wilderness points, you don't need to carry out handfuls of leaves or moss or smooth sticks or the long list of alternatives that you have there. So, something to keep in mind. You cannot leave any trash of any sorts in the free campsites. There's no system for getting it out of there. Stuff needs to be packed down to the refugios and gotten rid of there. There they have a system for removal of everything. The free sites are spread out. I'll run through real fast. I'm not gonna repeat. You can come up and check on the map to see where they are afterward. The free campsites are Campamento Paso, Campamento Los Guardas, Campamento Británico, Campamento Italiano, Campamento Torres, and then down here in the tail of the queue we've got Campamento Las Carretas. You can see these are kind of far apart from one another. This is done for a reason. The people who have a vested interest in making money in the park know that near the end of an 8-hour hike, if they put a paid refugio site before the free campsite, people are likely going to break down and pay to camp that night. Okay, people's pockets tend to be a little bit deeper than their souls are strong, so it's set up like this. It is very possible to hike the entire W without paying for camping, but you need to figure in on having some days of long walks. One of the days would probably be about 8 to 10 hours, so it's okay. You have all day to hike. You have until about 11 o'clock before it gets really dark, so you can take advantage of that. All right, all of the free campsites are built alongside a freshwater source. This is usually a small glacial stream or river. It's always running. It's not a seasonal thing that you need to worry about. Brings us to the topic of the water in the park. It's all drinkable. You don't need to carry a purification system in. You don't need to worry about iodine, chlorine. The only thing that that can cause problems for us is human stupidity. Okay. If you're in a campsite with 50 tents in it, and you're down at the bottom of the campsite's water source filling up your water bottle, if anyone in those 50 tents has been right up above you in the source, washing their hands, washing their dishes, you're going to reap the benefits of that. Okay? So, if you, a couple of ways around this. You can go up to the top of the campsite's water source, take your water out from there. Common sense. You shouldn't have any problems in that case. Even better, you can hike back 5 minutes on the trails to that last little glacial stream that you crossed before entering into the camping area. You can go fill up your bottle there. You should have no problems. In terms of how much water to carry, I like to take 2 liters. This is because I like to go off hiking on my own a lot. I like to have that little bit there in case oh, I run into problems. You can very safely hike with just 1 liter per person, filling it up each time you cross one of the little streams on the W or on the circuit trails. Water is plentiful. You don't need to worry about running out. Okay? Any questions on anything I've covered so far?